Now from one rock legend to another rock legend, known for his big hits like Sailing, Maggie May. I'm talking about, of course, Sir Rod Stewart, who has told this programme he's preparing to hang up his rock and roll hat after his latest tour. He wants to explore new music.
But until then, fans will be treated to not one but two music icons as Sir Rod prepares to share the stage with Boy George. So let me set the scene. It's Sir Rod Stewart and Boy George, two big characters in a hotel room sitting on a sofa. Bit of a mutual appreciation society going on. Have a look.
You're a fan of Rod Stewart?
Well, who isn't?
Well, that's a good question.
Everyone loves Rod Stewart, everyone.
I'm very flattered. That's lovely, mate. And that's why we're going out on tour together. Hold each other's hands.
So, do you go back a long way? I mean, do you remember when you first met? Do you remember the occasion?
Can't remember those
I remember,
days.
of course, because I was playing in LA and Rod was there, and I was like, oh my God, Rod Stewart's here, oh my God, hi.
Where were you playing?
Somewhere in LA. It was like one of those, it must have been about 83 or 84. It was like we were just bubbling. No, maybe it was earlier than that.
Whiskey
Some place in LA. It wasn't massive, but it was like big for us.
Can I show you a little picture? If I've got a little picture here, can you have a look at this one? And tell me if either of you remember this occasion.
Yeah, I do, yeah. That was at the Motown, the celebration. Was it, how many years of Motown was it? It was one of those big things.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when's this?
It was in the 80s. I remember, like, you did Dock of the Bay.
I had a yellow suit on.
And I sang with, like, Luther Vandross and Stevie Wonder, which is the most terrifying thing I've ever done.
Name dropping, do you hear them?
No, I remember
Awful.
that show. Aretha was on it, I think, as well.
Yeah, and he was amazing.
Yeah, I sang Dock of the Bay in a bright yellow suit.
Wow.
Brilliant.
And now, George, you get to share the stage.
Me too, yeah.
Pretty much.
We're going to try and do a song together if we got time to work one out.
I was thinking, the first thing people are going to think, seeing you sitting together, will you be singing together?
Yeah, of course we will, yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
He's going to come out and do Sailing with me, and I'm going to do Come a Chameleon.
I'm going to come out dressed as a sailor.
Oh, it won't be the first time.
Have you worked out what song you would sing?
No, we've got plenty of time to do it, though. We will.
Got time.
Is there something that springs to mind? Give us some thoughts.
What don't you do on stage? Because you've got so many amazing songs. What don't you do? Because, like,
well, you tell me one you know, and then we'll fit it in.
I'm going to be outrageous. The Killing of Georgie is one of my favourite songs.
Killing of Georgie, we do that. You want to sing that with me?
I'd love to sing it with you.
You can do the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, that'd be great. You join the girls, and that'd be truly wonderful.
Well, that song is amazing song. It's an
It is,
incredible
yeah.
song, isn't it? And I know, George, that it has particular resonance for you. Can you tell the story?
My mum bought it for me when I was a kid, and she put it in my sock drawer in a brown paper bag to let me know she knew what was going on.
Just explain that a little bit.
Well, she used to say I was theatrical, you know, highly strong and theatrical. So it was their way of saying, I know what you are, I love you, is a great song. And of course, I love that song, so that's a very powerful song.
Round of applause for Mum. Well done, Mum.
Were you a fan of Culture Club?
Oh, who isn't? Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. He just broke through down so many barriers when he came along. The way he was dressed, the hats, the everything. Brilliant, brilliant.
I was a 70s kid, you see. The 70s is when I discovered music. So when people say the 80s, I was like, no, the 70s. Yeah. The 70s was everything, glam rock, punk rock, reggae music. The 70s was the most interesting decade and sort of set us up for the 80s, but it was all about the 70s.
Yeah, radical change in the 70s and the late 60s as well. Everything changed.
One way or another over the years.
That's a good song.
What?
One way or another, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you one way.
If I set you up with a line each time, will you sing?
Yeah,
do it that way. George, it's amazing, isn't it? And I'll say that as if Rod's not here, that, how do I say this delicately? Rock stars are performing into incredible ages now.
Good.
I actually don't know off the top of my head how old you are, Rod, but it's amazing. Yeah. You would have thought it might be over by now. You might have stopped perming live.
Well, I am actually stopping.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, this is not. I'm not retiring, but I want to move on to. You know, I had great success with the Great American Songbook, All American Standards, and I've just done a swing album with Jules Holland, which is going to come out next year. So I want to go in that direction. So I just want to leave all the rock and roll stuff behind for a while, maybe.
Some people were hearing you say that, no more rock and roll. They'll be thinking, No more Rod Stewart singing, you know, those songs that we know so well.
Yeah.
Hot Legs and all those things. They'll be like, there's that kind of an end of an era.
Everything has to come to an end sooner or later.
So we're in a good place with that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing something else, you know, especially singing with Jules' band. It borders on rock and roll anyway. It's just not Maggie May and You Think I'm Sexy, you know.
It's been an absolute delight
mate.
talking
Thank
to
you.
both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice socks.
What socks were you wearing?
I don't remember what socks they were, actually, but they're a very observant pair. And two men who clearly very much care about their appearance, because there was a lot of business going. George came in a hat, and of
Yeah.
course the camera crew were all like, oh, now we're going to have to light it differently because he's got the hat on. Wouldn't take it off. Why should
Don't
he?
blame him.
No.
It's his thing.
So they will be singing. Basically, Rod Stewart will be doing most of his stuff on his own, but they'll do, as you heard, some songs together.
So the tour begins in Plymouth on Saturday, the 24th of June. Lovely pairing. Stick to the music theme. There's more to come on.